You may wonder, as you listen inside, how you can remember to forget, or forget to remember. Exactly how you began to believe, what you've always been becoming. Because every time you remember not knowing this, you begin to feel how strange it is to know now what you always knew before you knew you knew. Maybe that light, yes, that light, the one some say it's seen at the end of a tunnel. It's not at the end at all, but at the beginning, where you start seeing through instead of at. Because people who pass through death often come back through life. And in between, they find out what most people forget to remember. You're not a body with a soul, but a soul remembering how to dream itself into form. And isn't it interesting how when a person hears a story of someone who died, but didn't quite leave, something in them wakes up, something eternal recognizing itself. Some say I saw a tunnel. Some say I felt peace. Some say I heard music I can't describe. But it's more real than here. When you realize the most powerful truths, they're often the hardest to put into words, you also realize you already understand them perfectly. So what if you didn't need to die to let that part of you that fears death fade like shadow in a dream forgotten? What if you could feel that feeling right now of knowing that love is the only constant? They're always connected, and this moment holds all the light that you thought was waiting for you at the other side. Nested within the knowing, right at the code of the new belief system. You're not broken, you're not lost, you're not alone, you're becoming. Because isn't it true that what you believe becomes your reality? What you repeat becomes your identity. What you feel deeply enough rewires you beyond thought. Let's try something. Imagine now a version of you who already lives this new reality, who wakes up and knows, I'm guided, I'm safe, I'm eternal. I'm the mirror and the light. What does that version of you believe? Say it, hear it, feel it. Now double that feeling and again. Now, what if this is your baseline now? Because every time you wonder if it's real, it becomes more real. And every time someone says, but how do you know? You might say, I feel it. Isn't that more trustworthy than a thought? As you loop deeper, consider this. People who nearly die come back more alive because they drop the illusion. The illusion of separateness, of time, of fear, of not enough. So what if you drop those illusions now? Not by thinking harder, but by remembering softer. And noticing that truth begins to install itself like software you forgot you already downloaded. You just had to click run. So now let's teach it in spirals. A woman dies for 3 minutes. She comes back and forgives everyone. Why? Because she saw forgiveness is freedom. A child nearly drowns. Comes back drawing stars he's never seen. Why? Because the universe is encoded inside you. It just needs to be triggered. A man leaves his body before surgery. Comes back knowing he is love. Why? Because truth doesn't speak in words, it vibrates in being. Now you don't need a tunnel or death or floating experience. You just need to decide your new operating system is already running. And every time you breathe, you install a little more of it. You're connected, you're infinite, you're safe. You're surrounded by love. It can't be seen, but can be felt. And feeling it is enough to know it. So now isn't it funny how change happens easiest when you forget to try and just remember to allow? Because installing a belief, it's not a matter of effort, it's a matter of permission. So if I told you that deep in you, you already know all this, would you need proof? Or just permission to believe it now? Because somewhere between breath and memory, between silence and sound, between who you were and who you're becoming, is the you who never needed convincing, only remembering, only activating, only waking. And that version is already smiling, already alive, already you. And you can continue now, living, as though everything is sacred, speaking as though every word creates, moving as though your energy leads, because it does. And the light you thought was at the end of the tunnel, it was you all along. As you come back to the present moment, as you bring all this with you, perhaps you wonder now how easy it is to feel exactly what it feels like, to already be changed.